we'll talk about compassion. How dangerous it is if we are not compassionate. Compassion is a quality of God, and God wants us also to be compassionate. We cannot allow God to be seen or working in the lives of our fellow beings. That is why God wants us to be compassionate. If we don't show compassion, they will never know the Lord. And the ways of the Lord cannot be established in their lives. We'll see how, taking two examples from the Bible. The house of David. David had a son named Amnon. Amnon loved his own half sister named Tamar, and he desired her greatly. That he used to be very sick all the time and longing for her. This was observed by his own cousin, David's brother's son, Jonadab. So Jonadab will ask him, "Why are you so sick these days? What's bothering you?" And he says, "I'm in love with this girl, Tamar." And he gives him an idea. "Why don't you do one thing? You act sick and your father will come to visit you. Then you ask your father to send her to you to make you some food." And okay, nice idea. And when David visits Amnon, when he makes himself sick, and he tells to David, "Dad, can you send Tamar to make some food for me, some meat and cakes?" And he says, "Okay, I will send." And he tells Tamar to go and attend him and to minister unto him, to take care of him. Okay, she comes and she goes to the tent, makes food and gets it to him. But he tells her that I will eat it in my room. And then when she goes into the room, he will force her. He will ask her to sleep with him. And she will forbid. "You shall be called a fool in Israel if you do this. You're not supposed to do this kind of nasty thing, because nobody in Israel had never done this. And you will become as that of a fool. Don't do this." And he will be very aggressive, and he forces her and he assaults her. After assaulting her, he feels great hatred toward her than the love that he had from the beginning, the Bible mentions. One of the qualities about lust is also that it is long standing. Just like love goes a long way, lust also goes a long way until it is finished. But once that lust is quenched, it will become something else. But love will stay unchanging if it is love. I understood it that way from this portion of the Bible all the time. So he loved her, but that ended up in hatred, extreme hatred. And he tells her, "Leave this place, get out." And she tells, "What you are saying now is worse than what you did earlier. Don't do this." And he will not listen, orders one of his servants to get rid of her, throw her outside and close the doors. And she will be put outside. And these girls who are virgins during that time will be dressed with multicolor dresses, it seems, in those days. So because she was assaulted and spoiled, she tears her garments and puts on ashes and holds her head and goes crying. As she goes, she meets her own brother, Absalom. And he says, it's okay, calm down. It's also your brother. As of now, just calm down and stay quiet. Just be safe in my place." Now David gets to know all of this, and David's heart is torn. What is going on with my children? David keeps processing and mourning. Absalom immediately takes advantage and meets David and asks him to send Amnon and all the other sons of David for the shearing of the sheep. And he asks him, "Why Amnon?" He imposes and he pleads, "Dad, I need him, I want him, I need him there. Why to exclude him and all?" And David believes and sends. Okay, fine. Maybe Absalom would have put his words like that. So David sends Amnon as well. And when all the people would have gathered there, Absalom orders his men, "Once you get my signal, just finish him off." And they say okay, and they kill Amnon. Now the matter reaches to David. "All of your children are killed by Absalom." And David mourns like crazy. He gets mad, and just imagine to hear that news of losing all the children at once. And David mourns like anything. He loses his mind, cries bitterly. And then Jonadab, the son of his own brother, the one who gave a wrong idea to Amnon, he comes running and tells that, no, not everybody is dead, only Amnon is dead. What a strategy it is, cunning strategy. First, giving a false information that all of them are dead. And then because this fellow is also a culprit, he comes and tells, as if he is giving a good news, that not all of them are dead, only one of them is dead. As if it will pacify David. And then Absalom fled, he says. In the meanwhile, all the sons will reach home, and David will be mourning and crying for both Amnon and Absalom as well. Now, what is this moral that we are going to take from here about compassion? As fathers, maybe a father was processing what to do about this thing regarding his children, and he was not given any time. Absalom, being a big brother, he could not be contained. He could not stay quiet. How dare he assaults my sister? How dare he even touches my sister? How could he go that far? I'm not going to leave anybody, filled with such kind of hatred, extreme hatred that didn't have any control. And he executed it very efficiently. What did he do? He acted so well, being very loyal. And look at the people around, like Jonadab. What did he do? As if he's playing cool or good. Once he gave a criminal idea, and then he comes as if he's getting a good news. So much of acting, so much of drama, isn't it? All of this happened. Had Absalom been silent and gave chance to David to execute matters as a father and king, things would have been different. Who knows that the Amnon, who was filled with extreme hatred, would have repented in the coming days. What did I even do? Maybe I loved her, maybe I wanted her, but I shouldn't have done this. I spoiled her, and I'm at fault in the presence of the living God. I did a very great fault. Let me go and apologize to my father. Let me go and apologize first to Tamar. Let me go and apologize to Absalom. Let me plead for their forgiveness. And suppose if he felt any love, then it would have been like, Father, I love her, and if it is okay for you, then I would want to marry her. Maybe the relationship, if Tamar agrees. If she had agreed, then maybe they would have got married. Nothing is mentioned later on about what happens, but Amnon is dead. Had he been alive, and maybe if Tamar was okay about marrying him, maybe they would have ended up marrying each other. If not, maybe Amnon would have become a changed person, that he would have rendered an apology to his sister. I'm very sorry for this heinous thing. Please forgive me. And I would want to be a better person. And even if they had lived and married other people from the kingdom, but yet they would have maintained that dignity and also that forgiveness in his life, and that change in his life would have become a testimony of God's work. Like, see, Amnon, he once was a very spoiled brat, but now he's a very righteous man. He's a very good man. Maybe he might have died spiritually there, and he might have had a second chance of life, which didn't happen. Why? Because the big brother killed. That is what happens when we do not show compassion. That is why in Luke, there is a parable that Jesus told about the prodigal son. When people who do not know God, or people who do not know the love of a father, trespass and go away, what should we do as God's people, as the people who have known God and have a closer encounter and a relationship with Him? We need to be compassionate, just like the father. When the big brother in Luke chapter 15, he comes and asks the father, Dad, you never gave me anything at all. I'd never asked you any feast. You never celebrated for me. But for this wretched one who came back, you're celebrating. And what does the father say? What all I have is all yours, my son. You never asked me anything. It doesn't mean that we have to ask the Lord for more, but you never asked me anything. I wouldn't have withheld anything if you had asked me. All that is mine is yours. So come, rejoice, for the one who is dead is now alive, or the one who is lost has come back. That is our role as God's people, the role of a big brother. The second example is seen in the house of Jacob, where the one and only daughter of Jacob, Dinah, will be assaulted by the prince of Shechem.